Once again, the voices fell silent. We're going to play the quiet game. The first person to talk loses. I need a second to think. Seth clicked on the flashlight. He shone it on the rusty chain. Fully uncoiled, it would reach deep into the hole. Once lowered, the metal chain would be far too heavy for him to raise alone. He walked around the perimeter of the hole. None of the unseen entities spoke. Seth's parents sometimes made him play the quiet game when they were driving together. He hadn't even needed to promise the winner a treat. Okay, I have some questions, Seth said. I'm going to need a single spokesman to respond. Me, an avid voice answered. Fine. We're at the Dragon Sanctuary. What do you know about Worm Roost? There came no reply for a moment. We know little of the sanctuaries, but we can kill dragons. We shall slay hundreds of dragons on your behalf. Their treasures will adorn your hall. No enemy shall stand against you. Give us the chain. I have a feeling if I lower the chain, you'll come up here and eat me. Not far from the truth, said a voice behind Seth. The comment startled Seth so badly that he nearly fell forward into the hole. He lost his grip on the flashlight, and it spun down into the blackness, illuminating an increasingly distant sections of the endless pit, skipping twice against the side as it descended. The light vanished without Seth glimpsing the bottom, and without any far-off crunch of the bottom being reached. A torch flared, driving back the momentary darkness in the chamber. An old man with a long beard and a heavy cloak held the firebrand aloft. Seth edged away from the gaping hole. You must be Agad, Seth said. You almost gave me a heart attack. And you must be the interloper from the knapsack, Agad replied. Kamarot could sense you inside, along with a hermit troll and an unconventional automaton. The dragon had it right. You are young, and you are a shadow charmer. I don't mean any harm. One of Agad's eyes twitched. Interesting that the first place you came was the Blackwell. I was following the whispers. I haven't been a shadow charmer for very long. Well, this is easily the most dangerous room in the keep, and probably one of the most dangerous in the entire sanctuary. I wondered if you might be drawn here. Patton said you had a penchant for mischief, though he neglected to mention of your full-fledged status as a shadow charmer. Patton mentioned me? Seth asked. He told me to expect you as well if the girl showed up. I'd like to think you would not have lowered the chain. The chain? No way. You kidding? I was just hoping I could get info from them or something. Agad walked over to the nearest pile of coils and sat down. He gestured with the torch, and Seth sat as well. The entities inside the Blackwell would say anything to gain freedom, at which point their promises would evaporate. Do not treat with these types of beings, Seth. They do not give. They only know how to take. Why do you have a chain in the first place? The question earned a reluctant smile. If no one knows how to manage them, to guide them, to liberate them temporarily and under strict conditions, the inhabitants of the Blackwell have their uses. But even I would employ them only as an absolute last resort. In the future, you might want to lock the door. Agad smiled more broadly. I left the room accessible in anticipation of your visit. Truth be known, you and I are the only people in Blackwell Keep who could have